Started, yep. All right, Freedom Builders, this is very exciting today. Last minute, we were able to get my great grandfather, Curt Shewell, who is, I think, one of the nicest, kindest people that I've ever met. And I had the opportunity to get to know him really because of EXP. And I didn't know Curt before this, but it's just a testament to our community that we're building. We all become family. And anytime I call Curt, ask him questions, he'll spend hours on the phone with me if I need it. So he's just an amazing friend now, mentor, and probably one of the top, not probably, he is one of the top agent attractors at our company. And on Wednesday, we did a meeting here for our Freedom Builders, and everyone kind of picked my brain about how I attract. And for me, I'm not a pick up the phone, smile, dial, make a pile, recruit agents kind of attractor. That's how I built my business through expireds and FSBOs. But Curt is, he will actually recruit. He will pick up the phone. He will call people. So today we're going to pick his brain about how he helped Mark Z build his organization. So Curt, introduce yourself and let them know how big your team is, how many people you've attracted, and then we're going to dive into how you did it to help our fellow agents. Welcome.
I don't know if I can do any better. Thanks, Tina. I don't know if I can do any better than that. When you have an opportunity to work with the best people in the industry, it's pretty exciting, right? So when a guy like Mark Z calls you up and says, hey, let's have lunch, I'd like to talk to you and kind of mastermind and pick your brain, the answer is yes, before you even care what it is that he wants to talk about. When a Tina Caul, right, who's the biggest giant in real estate space down in Raleigh, North Carolina, says, hey, I'm going to join in, I want to be a business partner with you, you do cartwheels. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you do. So you start opening yourself up and really understand networking is where it's at. So my name is Curt Shewell, and in my career, 17, 18 years in real estate, I've sold over 4,000 homes. So yes, I know how to sell homes. I'm a real estate coach, a trainer. And I really like teaching agents how to actually sell homes and do it in a practical sense. Theory is great. Mindset's awesome. I agree. You got to have the right mindset. But going out and selling homes, you have to learn how to actually do it, where the rubber hits the road. And I teach agents how to actually do it. I literally take them in the field, which nobody seems to ever do. And I don't understand that. This is what the business we're in. So I take them in the field and literally show them how you sell a house from the outside in, right? So community, neighborhood, street, house. And that 50% of the sales should be done before you ever start. It's no different than attracting agents. So in my career, yes, I partnered with Mark about 3 years, 5 months ago, I think now. And that's when we partnered up, but I was only going to partner with him because he was coming to EXP, which gave a great opportunity for us to have an equal partnership in something. He wasn't going to give me ownership in his brand. He wasn't going to give me ownership of Mark Z Enterprises, just like Tina. Tina offers an opportunity for those to join with her, but she's not giving up the Caul group that she's built, put all her life, bread, and money and everything into. Well, Mark wasn't going to do that with me. So EXP allows us this foundation, allows us this platform where we can actually plug into each other and then grow each other, and everyone benefits. It's unlike anything that's ever been available in real estate before. So if you really understand the pyramid of real estate, right? You have like Keller Williams, the Remaxes of the world, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, any franchise model, you have to understand how they're structured, right? They're structured at the top, and then it pyramids down. They get investors to buy in, they get regional people to buy in, then they get all these franchisees to buy in. So you've got all these people who paid money to be part of the system, and it creates this giant pyramid because each layer gets wider, wider, wider. And then what happens is they go recruit 1 million agents. So they're recruiting agents all day, every day to come to their brokerage to sell real estate. And if you understand the mindset of how they're structured like a pyramid. And you're like, no, I didn't realize that. Well, that's how it is. It's a franchise model. It's not a bad thing. It's not that they're doing something wrong. It's not that they're doing anything bad. It's just how the industry works. And that's how franchises work. Well, when we had an opportunity for me to not be in that same pyramid with Mark or Tina or somebody else, because that means I'm working for someone and it only benefits them. I get what I get out of mine and they get all the extra benefit. Well, what I was able to understand is with this platform, it could really take my talents of what I'm really good at. And what that is networking through people and helping people get together with people who are like-minded, to get together with people who can help them grow to the level they're trying to get. What I've always been very good at is saying, okay, and I'll just pick on some people on the screen here, taking a Phil, saying, okay, Phil, tell me what you're trying to do. Help me understand what you want. What are you really trying to get to? And when he's able to tell me that and articulate what it is, and again, only by the same things if I was selling a client a house, I'm repeating it back to him, his words, not mine, so I can help make sure him and I are on the same page and he knows I get what he's saying. And if he can feel and believe that I understand where he's going or where he's trying to get to, then he also will believe that I probably am able to, because I can articulate it back, that I can put the right people in place with him. Him and Tina and them getting together was kind of a no-brainer in the sense of understanding first what Phil needed, what he wanted, and why he needed and why he wanted it. Well, Tina filled that huge because she's in my network, right? So she's in my Rolodex in my mind of, okay, these are the players who are the top performers. How do I put these people together where they mutually benefit from each other? That becomes a really easy thing to do if you're taking the time and you're honest about what you're doing. So a very nice accolades that Tina gave me, I appreciate. In my own brokerage, before I came to EXP, I recruited 142 agents, and that was our brokerage. I recruited 2 franchisees. We had 3 locations, and I did that. Well, that was well and good and all, but I did it on the premise of a platform, basically in a pyramid structure. And there's just not a whole lot of fruit there to bear because too many people are getting paid, right? Too many hands in the pie. Well, coming to EXP gave me a cloud-based platform. Well, first off, it was surprising to me that I really didn't understand it until I understood it, right? You seek to understand, then you find, right? So I sought that out to figure out, what does that work? What does it mean? And then I realized, wow, every single industry there is, cloud-based companies own it. They take it over, they dominate. And what do? They put all franchise models out of business. Every one of them, pick anyone you want, pick any industry you want, where cloud-based companies are in that space. Guess what? They own it, they're putting them out of business. Amazon putting all the retail, they're putting malls out of business. Right? Airbnb is the largest hotel provider in the world, right? They only been around for a handful of years. They're putting these hotel chains out of business. They're all buying each other up right now. Hilton and Marriott are buying everybody because they have to try to stay alive. What's happening is they're doing it by acquisition and they're getting squeezed out. They're still losing. So as they're gaining, they're losing more than they're gaining. And they're actually reducing in size, which is insane for companies that are acquiring other companies. Well, this is what happens. And they don't know what to do. And it's not that they're not smart people. These are extremely smart people. Just like Netflix did to Blockbuster, put them out of business. They told me they'd have them out of business in 5 years, and it only took them 3. Well, it's because of cloud-based companies. It's because people can go direct. This is where our fast food society lives today. All the millennials, if you're under 30, I promise you, you live on this all day long, right? Most of you haven't even got taught cursive writing in schools. That's all gone. Why? It's all keyboards. It's all thumb dialing. It's all through here. So it's done very different. Clients today who buy real estate, this is the space we're in. Think about this. The reason I recruited these agents is I was able to provide a solution to their problem. And if you can provide a solution to their problem, you can have a very good conversation. I'll go deeper into that in just a second. So what you have to really look at and understand, where are you? What do you want? Where are you trying to get to? And who are the people that you can make sure you're networking and you're expanding and growing that network of people to make sure you've got to be the solution to everyone's problem. I don't have to be the one that can do it. I just have to put them with the right people who can. That makes me invaluable to them. Now I become a great resource to them, and so will you. So understanding what's going on in the industry, do we sell houses like we did back in 1970 something when RE/MAX came into the business? No. Do we sell it the same way we did when Gary Keller started Keller Williams in the 90s and made them a company, really in the 80s, but went big in the 90s? No, we're selling it totally different. How about before the crash? Do we sell it the same way we did back then? Hell no. Right? And then we're like, oh, well, that's the barometer. Okay, that's where the divide comes. Oh, really? Okay. Well, what happened after the crash? Did we sell things a whole lot different for the next 4 or 5 years? You bet. Then it started to come back to kind of normalcy. Well, then was it a whole new day again? Oh, yeah. So from 15 to 20, have we been selling homes differently in the last 2 years than we did 2 years ago? Tremendously. All the third-party companies are in our space now. Who are they? All cloud-based companies. Who are they? They're the people that are squeezing and changing your industry. They're the ones that are taking commissions and driving it down from the typical 3% to the 2s. They're selling you your leads back because we're all lazy and we won't go out and do it ourselves. So they sell us leads back, take a point. Well, you better be getting 3 to make sure you're getting 2. If you're only getting 2, they take 1, you're only getting 1. You got to start looking at this, guys. Pay attention. Pay attention what's going on around you. Agents are in big trouble, and most of them don't even see it. They're looking at, they can only see about 3 feet in front of themselves because that's all they're looking at. They're not backing up and looking at the big picture. If you don't see the bigger picture, you're missing what's happening. You can't see the forest from the trees. You've all heard these expressions before. Tina is phenomenal at getting you to not only back up, to elevate up and look at it from the top down. It's a game changer when you have that vision. We talk about when you see this, you can't unsee it. It's because now you know. Knowledge, right? With knowledge comes great responsibility. You guys are getting the knowledge now. There's a massive responsibility you all have to yourselves, to your industry, right? To your clients and to your fellow agents to help. Nobody's needed our help more than we do today because our agents are more educated today than they've ever been. But wait a minute, Curt, that's the opposite of what you just said. Here's the truth, guys. Agents understand this. Your clients are more educated. What does a little bit of knowledge do? It makes you really dangerous because you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. They're getting too much data. They don't understand. And then they're taking that. And what are they doing? They're running with the little bits and pieces they know. They need you more now than they ever have because they're getting too much conflicting data and they don't know what it means. They actually think they can do it on their own now because people on TV are telling them that. They believe what they hear. They believe what they see. You need to help them see what's real. And once you can do that, you become a Tina Caul. Once you do that, you become a Phil. Once you do that, you become a Mark Z. So what I was able to do in my numbers per se, and I know this is a long introduction, but thank you.
No, that's good.
But what we're really talking about, guys, is what I was able to do was I was able to take my talents, my skill sets, and start partnering with people who are way, way, way above the food chain than where I was. Because that's who I wanted to be. I don't want to be Mark Z. I have hair. I like to keep it. He doesn't. So I'd like to have that. But the truth is, I wanted it to be like him in the business acumen that he has. I want him to learn how to be smarter and not keep working harder than I was. My whole life, my dad told me, work harder, work smart, son, keep working hard, work hard, but start working smarter, not harder. But he never told me how. He didn't tell me what that meant. I got it, yeah. Does everybody here agree you know what work smarter, not harder means? Does any of you know how to actually do it? That's our problem, right? We all know what it means, but we don't know how to do it. How silly is that? It's such a simple thing. And you've probably been told that your whole life. And I'm gonna keep telling it to you over and over. Well, Tina Caul has the secret sauce. Mark Z has the secret sauce. Phil has the secret sauce. But you know what the one thing we all have? Sauce, just sauce. And when we mix our sauces together, boy, do we make one hell of a good pot. Because Tina has value.
Or we make babies, right? No, just kidding. I had to break it.
This is why I became her grandfather, right? So I'm her grandfather because my kid is her parent, right? So that's how that works in our real estate business world together. So that's how this works. And that's the relationship. It's true family. I need to help her up. I want to help her up. My whole existence is by helping her out. Well, how do I do that? I partner with this guy right here. Holy smokes. Grab the chair. You're gonna love this. You guys are getting a 2-for-1 today. This is pretty
I love it.
Right? So this is Mark Z. So this is Mark himself, right? So what we were able to do was to figure out this exact component, just like Tina, just like Phil, just like us. We were able to figure out this is how we can finally work together and bring all the talent you have and pull each other up. Because I add value to Mark Z's world with what I bring to the table. Mark Z adds massive value to my world because of what he brings to my world. Now we bring Tina in, guess what? She adds value to our world, and in return, we add value to hers. And this is how it's supposed to be. Think about it in the theory of life. This is what it's about, right? We're all trying to help each other. Wouldn't that be just a beautiful world? Here, financially, we're rewarded if we do the right thing. Like, how silly is that? How beautiful is that? How come nobody thought of this before? Pay me to do the right thing. Reward me more if I do more of the right thing. How amazing. That's what's happening. So I can go to this guy and say, okay, Mark, your net worth is insane. How did you do it? And he says, oh, hell, sit down, puts his arm around you and says, let me open my books and show you. Who's going to do that? Well, he has a financial reason to want to do that. Because if he can teach me to be half of what he is, it works for him. Financially, it's rewarding for him. If we can teach Tina the things that we know that she doesn't, and she in return can teach us the things that she knows that we don't, and we can all build on that, we all prosper because it goes cyclical. Now she says, hey, come on and join with my group here. I've got a group of 30, 40 people that I really want you to talk to and share our experiences so they're not hearing the same thing from one person over and over. Because sometimes you hear the same thing, right? You guys have all done this. Somebody said, your parent tells you this every day, but Johnny's mom said it, and all of a sudden you go home and go, Mom, you're not gonna believe this shit. You gotta hear what Johnny's mom said. This is like, oh, This is earth-changing stuff. And your mother's like, I've been saying it to you for 5 years. You're like, no, you didn't.
That's me to them for the last 2.5 years, Put yourself on social media, tell people about the company. And the thing about it is, Curt, we just have this, we're basically the same traditional structure, but we've now opened borders to where we are all the influencers growing the company. We're the regional owners. We're the whatever you want, you can create at the company. And now we're getting the fruits of getting together. We have 25 people, in this office today. We have 20 on Zoom. We have 45 people that all gathered today, real estate agents, to come and talk to one another. Like that was never done before. I was at a REMAX office. Everybody kept to themselves. I was at a Keller Williams office. I was expected to go teach everybody and be an ALC board member. That's fine. I love contribution. I love giving back, but I don't have time to teach the entire brokerage unless there's some financial incentive for me because I need to go teach my agents. So really what this has done is it's allowed us, right, to go outside of the little tiny confinement of our team. I had 8 agents that I was teaching and helping grow the business, which was actually pretty selfish. Now we have 820 agents that we can all collectively come together. You and Mark have how many agents collectively that you can touch?
So we're over 2,000.
You're 2,000 agents. I mean, Mark, your company right now has 80 agents on the Mark Z team. So you have 80 agents on the Mark Z team, but now they have 2,000 agents. Think about how many contracts that is. My team here at Caul Group will sell 500 homes. My EXP team already sold 3,000 homes from January. Which team is smarter for the leverage? And the EXP team cost me $0 to run. If you look at my P&L, Caul Group cost me a lot more money. So it's just a great scalability thing. But let's go back, you guys, because now you have 2,000 agents. In the beginning, when we were all doing this, Mark was actually one of the first guys to see EXP, and he brought it to Curt, not Curt, he brought it to Curt, but he brought it to Curtis Johnson, he brought it to Dan Beer, he brought it to those guys and said, hey, this is great. What did you see? What did you guys see then? And how has it changed now from how you were recruiting in the beginning to how you're recruiting today? Because it's been 3.5 years now.
Yeah.
3 years, 5 months. Yeah.
So, there's two sides to this story. There's the people who say, you guys had it so much easier then because there was so few people in EXP. Now there's, so many people in EXP and it's so much harder to recruit. But I think it's actually the opposite. When I got in, it was an unproven model at the time. When I got in, there was 4,500 agents. Think about that. In 50 states, that's about 100 agents per state, right? Who's going to take their business and just move it to an unknown company, a no-name generic, is what people told me. That's a generic company. Like, why would I take my business and go there? And so, it had its pitfalls back then. I mean, it took a month sometimes to onboard somebody back then. You know how painful that was? I can't tell you how many agents that we brought over that left before they got onboarded because it was so painful. And imagine them going out and talking, they can't even onboard an agent or call-based. I mean, all the shit that was taught. So it was pretty difficult back then, but we grew the company to 60,000 plus agents, 70,000 agents that it has now. And so now, sure, there's a lot more people that are in EXP, but to say that, there's so many more people in EXP, there's 60,000 agents in EXP out of a pool of 2.1 million realtors in the United States. So the fact that there's 50,000 more agents than there was 3 years ago is like so minuscule that it's still not even on the map, right? So there's still so much potential, but what you guys have going for you now is it's a proven model. It makes money because that was a big, negative kind of connotation was how are they going to make money? It's not sustainable. Well, we make money. We made a lot of money. I think last quarter they reported over $15 million in profit. This quarter is going to be another huge profit center. So they figured out where revenue share needs to be in order for it to succeed. They figured out ways to make money. Like all the negative things that people said, there's no offices. There's, in my state, we have 15, 16, 17, 18 offices, 20 offices. So, we've crushed all the negative connotations and the path is wide open for you guys to take it and run with it. It's just a matter of, how many people are you going to talk to about it? Because it's it's just a numbers game. That's all it is.
Well, and I think that, when you guys started, even when I started, it was, it was a penny stock. It was all the negative things that we heard, right? And you guys used to call people and they didn't know what EXP was. Now people know, but, when I first started, I opened up my doors and I invited people in every Friday to come and learn. And I think when you look at KW, that's what they did. They kept inviting and inviting and inviting people to value, and then people would leave that Keller Williams meeting and say, "Wow, I feel like I got something out of it," and then they would join the company. And so when I realized that that's how I got recruited, I thought I'm going to do the same thing. So you guys started doing that in your office too. You started to come in and do trainings regularly. How did Curt, you were calling people on the phone and asking them to come to coffee in the beginning. Are you still doing that now?
Yes, just in a different capacity, right? So
Right.
as you grow, you start seeking out different talent in what you're looking for. So at first, what you have is you make this big splash, right? So you need to make an announcement, because the people who do follow you, the people that you do influence, need to know I made a massive change. I made a huge decision, and I'm really excited about that decision. So don't be ever afraid to show your excitement. And I think you need to. When you go, well, I did this, and it almost sounds like you're like, well, I tried this, I'm not even sure of it. I don't know that I even made the right choice. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for positive reinforcement, right? They're looking for you to say, holy smokes, did I find, right? I found the, I found the, the diamond in the rough. I found the thing that we've been searching for. I found the arc, right? Oh my God, I found it. Here it is. So that's what they're looking for. Everybody's looking for the same thing. Where's the magic? Where's the one thing that's different than everybody else? Because here's the God's honest truth. Agents bounce from brokerage to brokerage to brokerage to brokerage. And some go, I've only worked at 4 brokerages in my career. Well, think about it, right? That'd be like getting married 4 times. That's a lot. You made a commitment. This is my career. This is my career path. I chose the right place because you certainly did it for the right reasons, right? Sure you did. Well, you're on your 4th marriage looking for 5. Well, that's not a good thing, right? That means that something, you're either 1, doing it wrong, or 2, you haven't learned a gosh damn thing yet. And what happens is there wasn't other options for people. So what I mean by that is if you went from Keller to Century, from Century to Coldwell to Remax, it does not matter which one you go to because they're all franchise models. They're all structured identically the same. And if you bounce from one to the next, the belief in your mind is that somehow magically I'm going to make more money. You're all within one transaction of what you made at any one of those, right? One sale at $300,000 or $200,000 is between $6,000 and $9,000. I promise you, not one of those brands is any more than $6,000 to $9,000 different. That's one sale. None of them are that much different. They're all structured the same. That's why they can't be. It's a shell game. Well, I didn't charge you this, but I charged you that. Well, they don't charge these, but they charge those. The flat fee brokerage is the biggest ripoff on the planet. If you're a producing agent, that's the worst thing you could possibly do. But yet they think, I'm going to save my money. You have to help people. You cannot save your way to wealth. Mark, you've saved plenty of money, but you've had opportunity to make more money. Which one pays more? Saving or actually growing your business and making more money?
Yeah, no, you've got to have residual income. That's the only security in this business because it's changing so fast, right? There's questions of whether we're even going to be in the business, in 10, 15 years. There's questions of how much commission are we going to be paid? There's questions of, are these third-party companies? I mean, the fact of the matter is realtors need to get their head out of their asses and start figuring out how to market themselves because these third-party companies have taken our listings, our inventory, and they've shown us how we should have been marketing all these years, right? They're better at lead generating than we are. And that's why they're in business, and that's why we pay them to give us leads because they're better at our job than we are. That's the truth, right? So, I'm not gonna say that's true for me because I know how to market, right? But that's what realtors need to figure out how to do more of is market themselves and get themselves out there, whether it's social media or postcards or TV or radio, whatever your thing is. I'm not telling you right or wrong because everything works if you're consistent enough and you do it long enough, but you need to figure out what your calling is.
Well, and I think, Mark's touching on marketing, which is exactly what this is. We join eXp Realty, and our job is we're supposed to be good marketers. But what do? We get a listing, we throw it in the MLS, we take some pictures, we maybe make a brochure. That's the extent of our marketing. And I think the biggest miss is that if you want to be a good agent attractor, you have to be a good marketer. So what message are we relaying, right? Are we being inspirational? Is Mark Z opening his doors and Curt opening his doors and saying, hey, you know what? I'm worth this. This is how I got there. Let me inspire you. I don't know if you guys know this, but that panel that we had on investing, because Mark opened up his mind and shared with us that he had over 400 rental properties before, and then he sold them all, and he made he took $10 million in assets to $40 million in assets. There were about 10 people on that call that now own one rental property because of that call, right? That would have never happened if we didn't have the collaboration piece that we have here. But the thing is, you have to learn how to be vulnerable. You have to learn how to take your pain points that you have personally and then start sharing them in a vulnerable way. And people go, wow, you know what? He's just like me, or she's just like me. They have those same pain points. They feel less than, or they feel stupid at times, or they feel like, wow, I'm 40 years old and I don't even have a piece of leverage in my life. But you're not alone. And so our job now is to go out and to win. And the thing is, imagine a new agent comes to Keller Williams, Remax, or Coldwell Banker. They have very little support. I think the most support they're probably going to get is at KW. They have a little bit more community and culture. But here you come to EXP with 7 agents that are your advisory board, right? You have your personal ALC, and I have my personal advisory board of 7 people that I can tap into at any time, and they're going to care to pick up the phone. Like, I bug Mark all the time. I bug Curt all the time. I bug Dan Beer all the time because I'm making them money. So they're my bitch. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So, I tease them all the time, but I'm like, you're my bitch. I need to, just kidding. But the reality is, right, that they're gonna pick up the phone for me, and I'm gonna pick up the phone for them. I don't pick up the phone for my brother when he calls sometimes. I'm like, oh, it's just my brother. So but the reality is we're all making money together. So when people say this is not for new agents, I think that's wrong, because if you can't make it here, you can't make it anywhere. We have the mastermind groups. We have the access. The access is the power. Proximity is the power for us to collaborate and to grow. And not only in just real estate, guys, this is in life and in business. And so you have to go to events and you have to tap in. So going back, right now you guys have 2,000 agents. Is it true that you have to kind of think of yourself as a team leader to those 2,000 agents? Because I think that's a miss. Some of our agents recruit, they throw them into our groups, and then they kind of forget about them. And I kind of think in my mind, those are my people. Like, those are your team. How do you guys stay connected with a group that is that big? What kind of value do you guys bring to your group on a weekly basis?
Here's what we do. We thought long and hard about this. And like Mark was saying, when we came in Michigan, which is where our market is that we're physically located in, there was less than 100 agents that were EXP agents. And out of those 100, not one of them was a notable agent that we were all like, oh my God, that person's here. There wasn't any, right? So when the person known as the real estate guy in Michigan splashes like this, that's a massive announcement. The very, very first thing Mark told me was, listen, you're going to talk to people. You have got to learn how to leverage me. And I was like, okay, I'm all ears. Explain that to me. What he did was he broke it down to me. This is what I offer people. They have to understand what they're getting by talking to you. If they join us, this is what they get. So Mark was able to say, okay, Curt, let me articulate and break this out. Everybody here that's from Tina's world down, you have Tina. You need to understand what Tina has to offer them, right? Doesn't mean Tina's going to give all her time to them. So don't be mistaken with that, where Tina Caul's just going to take your calls and sit there and talk to you all day. That is not going to happen. But what you have to understand is she's going to give you opportunity to tap into her in certain ways. So what we did was we started structuring the different things, all the different valuable asset things that people want. So when I said at the beginning, talking to a Phil or talking to a Tina, what do they want? What's important to them? Great. All I had to know is, where is my leverage to say, okay, this is where you can get it. So what we set up, Tina, on a weekly basis was, we said, okay, what's the number one thing? We live in the 90s, 90 percentile, meaning 90% of the agents all want the same thing. What do they want to do? What's the number one thing every agent wants?
Sell more homes.
They want to sell another house, right?
Yes.
Here we are on this call talking about attracting other agents, but all you're thinking is, yeah, that sounds cool, but how do I sell another house? Where's the magic, right? How do I get that? So everybody
Not
wants to
these
sell another
40
house.
people.
No, not them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So every agent's thinking, how do I sell another house? So if you're not starting from production, you're starting the wrong way with them. Do not have a conversation about, oh my God, if you could go recruit 2,000 people and met with Curt, he's got 2,000. Oh my God, he makes all this money. Yeah, I do. But that's because I talked to them about the #1 producing team in the state, which was the Mark Z team. We can show you how we sell more homes. Is that something you'd like to know? Hell yes. That's the first thing they want to know. Then when you start talking to bigger agents, know your audience, know who you're talking to. And then I'm talking to agents who are bigger producers doing 30, 40, 50, 60 transactions a year, hundreds or whatever that is. Well, that conversation is, hey, what if I could teach you how to double your business and get half your time back? Is that something that's important to you? Because that's what they want. They want to sell more houses. They just want to do it half the time. That's their hot button. Great. What if I could show you where you could do it and the company would pay you to work here and you wouldn't have to pay them anything? Is that attractive to you? Remember, every single thing you're asking is that attractive to them? Because you are attracting them by what is important and attractive to them, not to you. This isn't about you. When you're showing a house, you go tell them, I don't like this house. I don't like the wallpaper. No, you ask them, what do you think of the wallpaper? What do you think of the layout of this house? Because it isn't about me. I'm not living here. I'm not the one buying it. So stop talking about the shit that matters to you because it's not important to them. What's important to them is what? They're 3 favorite subjects, me, myself, and I. It's no different than attracting agents. It's the same damn thing. What's important to them? What's attractive to them? Is it getting their cap and not paying anything? Because here's what happens. They bounce from brokerage to brokerage to brokerage because somebody offers them a $2,000 less cap. Are you kidding me? For $2,000, I'm going to change my entire business so I can hope to save $2,000? Now, if you said, Curt, I'm going to give you an extra $2,000 a week. Oh, well, that's interesting. 52, yeah, $100,000. You got my attention. That's what you have to offer somebody. What if I could help you make an extra $2,000 a week? Would that change your life? Would that be something worth your time? Because my business partner does this. Her name is Tina Caul. My business partner does. His name is Mark Z. My business partner does. His name is Curt Shewell. This is what they do. If I could get them to give you 20 minutes of their life to show you how we do that, do you think that's something you'd be open to? Is that something you'd want me to do? Would you want me to set that up like today? Would you like me to get on the phone with them right now? That's the questions you got to start asking people. If I could, would you? If you're not starting off with that, you're missing this whole thing. Stop talking about rev share. Stop talking about your stock or the stock somebody else has. And certainly when you're talking and referencing, oh my God, Tina Caul's amazing. She has this. Like, great. Yeah, we all know who Tina Caul is. Yes, she's great. Well, Mark Z's great. He's got $40 million. Well, okay, that's great. I'm not Mark Z. That's what they're thinking. Stop talking stupid. And I mean that respectfully. When you say stupid shit, people know that it's stupid. So stop saying stupid shit. Just like I tell agents when I'm coaching them in my boot camp, stop being a shitty agent. That gets them all offended. Oh, I'm offended. Then stop being a shitty agent. I won't call you one. Right? When you start telling an agent or you start telling a client what you care about houses and which one works for you, you're a shitty agent. When you start talking to agents about attracting them and telling them why it's important for you to have them, you're a shitty attractor. Stop it. Fair?
No, I think that's fair. No, they are. And I mean, the thing is this, like I think a lot of agents make the mistake. They come to the company and they lead with what drove them there, right? So maybe you care about rev share and you're like, I'm going to come here, I'm going to recruit all these people. And then all of a sudden you meet, Curt and you're like, oh yeah, and you can come and there's all these people and it's Curt Shewell. He makes $100,000 a month. And they're like, $100,000 a month. I just want to sell another home. And so I think that, for me, what I really believe, just like when you're selling homes, do what's right for the customer. You will make a lot of money. Don't have commission breath with the customer. You will make a lot of money. Don't be attached to the outcome. That I had to learn that. It used to hurt my feelings when people didn't want to come to the company. I'm like, wait a minute, I sell 350 homes and you sell 12 and you don't see this? Like, I was offended. I was like, come on, do you think I'm an idiot? Like, this is a really good business model. They're not coming. And think of it this way too, guys. These agents are in a community, in a classroom. When you were a young kid in high school, and if your parents said, hey, we're moving, and you just built 4 years with your friends and your community, and all of a sudden you felt you were going to be ripped from that classroom, that high school, to go to a new school, That's what it feels like for an adult. They have their family, they have their comfort. They don't want to meet you. They don't want to go meet new people in a new classroom, right? Amina, it took her forever to get her butt here. Now she loves us, right, Amina? Right? But I mean, she didn't want to be ripped from Fonville Morrissey because she was there how many years? 15? 15 years of her being in the same classroom, guys. So they don't want to come and meet you. They don't want to come and build a new community. So you have to invite. Show them before you tell them, right? Show them the community that we're building by becoming a master inviter to the opportunity. And so let's do this. There are some people in our community that are happy to pick up the phone and call and recruit someone. There are other people that are like me that would rather attract through social media. Last month I had 8 people join the company that named me sponsor. I never met them through YouTube. I think that's amazing, right? I love that. I'm having parasocial relationships with people because I video content. I throw it out there. It's not even that great. The content's okay, but it's not videoed that great. And I'm building that because think about it. That is going to live in that YouTube or Instagram forever. And our company's growing for 10 years. Those videos are going to continue to gain traction. So if you guys aren't making videos about your company, about being a brand new agent in the industry, here, I'm a brand new agent. Awesome. I'm going to take you through my life day to day to day. You're going to get people watching you like hawks because they just want to see. They don't care about Mark Z. That he's already worth $40 million. They care about the new agent that's struggling week after week after week. Build your audience like that, right? And so let's do a role play call. We're going to do a top producer and a low producer role play call because you are a calling machine. And so you call me and recruit me. I'm in your Michigan market. I'm a top producer, and call me and try to have a coffee. Are you ready to do that?
I am. Let me do it. We're going to do 2 calls back to back. The first one is I'm going to show you what everybody does, which is totally wrong, and watch how she reacts to it.
Perfect.
Then I'll give you the second one, which is probably the way you might want to approach it. Now, you're going to actually be you this time. I'm talking. I'm going to
be Tina Caul, and let's just say I was a top producer selling 100 homes. I have a little team, couple people. But I'm exhausted because remember, you got to remember who is your audience. Most people in the industry are either brand new, or they're an average agent selling 4 to 8, 10 homes a year, or they're an actual decent medium producing agent, 20 to 30 deals, or they're a team leader with a small team or a team leader with a big team, but the team leader is still in production, hating their life because they hate their life, trust me, or they're an out of production team leader that's figured out how to be a business owner, or they're a broker owner, right? So there's different levels of the people that you're trying to reach. You have to know the pain points for every single person at every single level, just like you have to know the pain points of a buyer at every single level. So, all right.
So first call, ring, ring.
And I'm in Grosse Pointe because that's where I was. Okay, hello.
Hi, Tina?
Yes.
Tina, Curt Shewell, giving you a quick call. How are you doing today?
Oh, good, Curt. How are you?
I am doing so great. I switched over to EXP. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, you're like the 4th person. I'm not going to EXP, so.
Oh my God, I know, right?
Crazy...
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
No, really.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, no, really.
I'm
listen, I got to tell you something though. It's going to blow your mind. Like if you recruit a bunch of agents, you'll make like a ton of money here, and you can't do that where you're at right now. You don't have stock, do you? Do you have stock?
I'm not a recruiter. I don't care about the stock. I have stock. I don't really care.
No, you say you don't, but you do because I know because stock is really good, and if you have a lot of it, it's worth money.
Yeah, I'm good, Curt. I don't have time. I don't even know you.
Well, then you know what? You're just not really smart because you're just not understanding how this works, and I have something really great, and you're just not smart enough to listen to it.
Well, that's fine. Bye.
Yeah. I don't think she would have lasted that long. It would have been quick. Yeah, no. This is the crap people say, and you're like, what are you doing? They talk over them. They freaking cut them off because you want to be heard because you think, oh my God, what if they say no? No is your damn friend. Now let me show you. Okay? So,
let him
same
show
call,
you,
same team. Master. Right?
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, Tina, Curt Shewell calling real quick. Do you have a quick second?
Yeah, what's this about?
Hey, listen, I know your time is important, so is mine, and I certainly wouldn't want to waste any of yours. I just have a quick question for you. We were just masterminding on a couple different things. You are a really high-producing agent, and we're really excited. So we had some questions that we were doing a little panel with the best agents, and obviously you're one of them. So do you got a quick second? I can just ask a couple quick questions about business.
Absolutely, sure. Happy to help.
Great, I appreciate it. I mean, somebody as talented as you are, we really value what your thoughts are. So one of the things I wanted to ask you was, just really, how long have you been at where you're at right now?
I've been here about 8 years.
About 8 years now. Okay, yeah. And where were you at before that?
I was at Remax.
I thought so. I wasn't quite sure. It was okay. So you went from Remax, and then you moved over to Keller or Coldwell, and that's where you're at now for about 8 years.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
and I feel like I got to believe if you stayed 8 years, you're probably feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, I love my Remax family.
Right. That's fantastic. So at Remax, I love that. I love hearing that. I love happy people, right? Happy people do the most amount of business. So let me ask you a question. What's the number one most favorite thing about your company? What's the thing that you love about them
they just leave us alone. They just kind of we get to do what we want. I get to run my business how I want to run my business. So
right. And you never leave that, right?
exactly.
No, I don't. I totally get it. I don't blame you. Well, let me ask you, what's the one thing oh my God, if they just did this or had this, I would never leave for the rest of my life. I would never think of leaving. If they just had this one thing, what would that be?
I mean, I pay for coaching, so I'm a big coach person. So for 12 years, I mean, if they had in-house coaching, that would be amazing. But other than that, I'm happy. I mean, I think they do a great job. We have great leadership. And so, yeah, I'm just happy where I'm at.
Sounds awesome. I love it. You're getting me excited. This is the kind of stuff I love talking about. So I appreciate your time. Just two last quick questions. So, where's your business now, and where are you trying to get it? So what are you trying to do with your business now? What's the plan?
So we're at I do about 100 deals a year myself, which, is great. And then I have a couple buyer agents, and they, they're going to do about 30 transactions each. So we'll probably end at about 168, 170 transactions. So, I'm making over $1 million a year gross. So I'm really excited about that.
Nice. How much time does it take you? Would you have to say an average in a week?
Time? I mean, Curt, I'm an agent. I work 24/7. That's
Of
my
course.
badge of honor. I grind. I grind.
Hey, come
I
on.
always
The
grind.
best of the best,
Yeah.
right? The best of the
That's
best.
right.
You're working all the time. You're never not working, right? It's kind of fair to
That's
say.
right.
You're never not working. Yeah, I got you. Well, let me ask you a question. Would you be interested in masterminding with some of the top people, only a small group, maybe 6, 8, 10 of us, that are doing exactly what you're doing, kind of at that level? But what we've learned is how to actually take half our time back. So we could do the same amount of business in half the time. Is that valuable to you to stop trading time for money?
Yeah, I mean, where are you guys from again?
We just moved over to EXP, the cloud-based brokerage.
Oh, okay. I mean, is this like a
Have you heard of
recruiting thing? Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. You're like, I mean, I've had a lot of people call. I didn't know this was about EXP though.
No, it's certainly not. This is about your business, my business, and about all of us helping each other do more. Our network is huge, right? All the people at EXP didn't start off at EXP, only 12 years old. So everybody came from somewhere. So what we're finding is that when we collaborate together, some of us have more synergy than others, but everybody can always contribute and help each other out. So if you were part of that little special group that all we do is talk business, we never talk about recruiting, we never talk about coming to our brokerage, your brokerage, anything like that. Are you open to something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if it's a mastermind group, is it local? I mean, is it like on Zoom? Because I'm in Grosse Pointe, you're in Novi. I mean, we're like an hour away.
Sure. Well, we have multiples, right? So we do sometimes when we meet together, we try to do that like once a month, but we get together, we meet at a coffee house, or we meet and grab some quick lunch or something. But again, this is a very exclusive group. So it's only with people who are at the level you're at or above that can help and teach you and show you how we're taking the exact same thing you're doing. We have the same mindsets. We're all looking for the same things, but what we're able to find. And here, I'll just share a couple of tidbits with you. Some people are looking at how to bring in more residual income so that they can make money when you sleep. Do you have more lines of revenue coming in?
I've got a couple rental properties, but they're not, I mean, I make maybe about $3,000 a year per rental because they're not paid for. So, but eventually, I mean, I want to get like one per year. Maybe I'll have 5 in my retirement. They'll be paid for. I'll have 10, 15 grand a month coming in. That's my plan.
Oh, good for you. So if I told you everybody in our group has, I believe every single one of us has multiples in our portfolio as well. So if I could show you something like that, that's good conversation for you.
Yeah, no, I love retirement, thinking. I mean, I do want to grow my team a little bit bigger because I am exhausted. I mean, obviously I'm working 24/7. So I'm thinking about growing the team, but I just, sometimes it's a headache, and I don't know that I'm good to train all the agents, and so
Yeah.
but
Well,
I'm
feel
thinking
your
about
pain.
it.
I feel your pain. I felt the same way. And what I found was that we're able to start learning from other people how they're doing it better and more efficiently than me. I don't think they're any better than me, of course, because we all like to feel pretty good about ourselves. But the truth is, some people do some parts a lot better than others. And I found that, holy smokes, I think I found the right room, because I think I'm the dumbest guy in the room. So I really love being in that room. So basically what we're finding is some of us are great at investing, so we share that. Some of us are great at coaching, and then we can teach how we can do coaching. If I could take your team, do you have a small team? Is that what you're growing right now? Is that what I hear you saying?
Yeah, I mean, we'll do about 170 transactions this year with the three of us. So it's small but
That's
mighty.
three, right? Three? Okay, so three,
Yeah.
that's still pretty good, right? That's around 50 transactions a piece. I'm guessing you're holding the lion's share of that. If we can help your
Yeah.
agents get to where they could do 50, 60, 70 by themselves, is that something that would be helpful to you if it didn't cost you anything?
Yeah, I mean, they would love it, of course, absolutely.
And what if we had given them the opportunity to help you grow your business out? So that way it wouldn't cost you anything, zero cost, and you could expand your team out to dozens if that was something that you would be interested in to make money off of that. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't want a lot of overhead and expense, and I don't want to be one of these, Jeff Glover, Mark Z people. I just that's too much for me. I mean, I don't need my
Yeah.
face on every billboard in town, but I mean, I would like to have a few more agents because I would like to travel more. I've been doing this 18 years, so I'm a little exhausted at this point. But so yeah, I mean, how often do you guys meet?
Okay, so what we typically do is we do a Zoom every couple weeks, every other week, and then what we do is we try to meet once a month. So kind of twice a month, we kind of get together to help build our businesses and grow it out. Sounds like for you, you know what I might have that might be interesting to you? I've actually got a mastermind group that's just about, it's all about real estate. It's agents from all over the place, not just EXP or just Keller or Remax. They're from all different brokerages. They're all into one. Every Monday, we meet for an hour and we just talk business. And we usually take 3 to 5 topics, and we cover them only with the best of the best. So you could have your people be on there with you, and maybe you contribute and they would see that, which would be kind of good to boost your team. But at the same time, you're going to hear everybody who's got the teams your size and bigger answering all the questions of how to scale. If we can teach you how to scale, is that something that you maybe want to put in your calendar once a week for about an hour?
Yeah, my God, I would love that. So yeah, sign
Okay.
me up for that. I'm happy to contribute or just listen in and see if it's my kind of people. But it sounds
Yeah,
like, I
let's
mean,
do
as
that.
long as you guys aren't recruiting and
No.
again, I've had so many EXP calls. I'm not changing brokerages, but I love masterminding with the top. I'm a Mike Ferry agent. That's my
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah.
I'm in coaching right now, so yeah. So I've got a coach,
Yeah.
but I would love to network with you guys. That would be great.
Sure. Okay. Well, let's get that together and let's set that up. I'll get you on for the Monday, and then why don't I do this? Why don't I have a quick call? Maybe you and me and just one or two others. Let's just talk about business as far as what the focus is that would help you the best. So that way, when we're talking topics, I can make sure that we're covering the ones that are going to be important to you, so we're not wasting your time. Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to talk business.
All right, let's do that. I love that. So one other thing that I want to share with you too, I do a separate one that we're doing this week, which later, it's like in 2-3 days, we're doing one strictly on understanding franchise brokerages and cloud-based, because we've got to be able to compete with the Zillows of the world and then compete with them. So if I could get you onto that, is that something you could share 30 minutes of your time with to maybe understand what we're looking at and how you kind of defend with those?
Yeah, I mean, I'd look at it. I mean, Zillow, we hate Zillow because, they're going to put everybody out of business. So I
That's
don't
what
buy
they think.
Zillow. I hate Zillow.
That's their
Yeah.
plan, right? So if I could
Yeah.
put that together and get your input and let you, give us some of your input too, we'd really respect it and I appreciate it. So why don't I do that? A couple of those people are really great at competing against Zillow, and I've learned a ton from them, and I'd love to share that with you and get your insight too. So, all right, let's set that up for is Wednesday. We can do either 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock because I run that group. What's the best time for you?
Yep, Wednesday at 3. So we'll cut it short. I mean, obviously, what a big difference though. He handled the objections about EXP and just went right through them. But that's the thing. He didn't really lead with EXP. And so if you're the thing is, I kind of knew I was sort of being recruited, right? Like with the whole like masterminding. But my curiosity was piqued, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go meet these people that are selling all these homes, and maybe I can. In my mind, I was like, maybe I could take advantage and learn from them because I'm hearing all the noise, I'm seeing what's going on. I'm not an idiot, so maybe I'll jump in. People want to be recruited without being recruited. right? They want to have value brought to them. And if you do it in a way where you're not just like EXP, I think that, there's value there. And just remember, you were recruited to every single brokerage you all were at everybody has been recruited, whether it was from a friend saying, come to Remax, come to Coal Banker, come. It's just that those agents were never incentivized. So it felt better because the agent wasn't getting paid. So the minute that you feel someone's getting paid, you're like this, oh my God, we're gonna make a whole $2,800 off Phil. Woohoo, Phil, I'm gonna make $2,800 off you for the year. Like, because of that, like, that's not gonna change my life. But if Phil and I and Curt and Mark, we can all collaborate, and Phil's team goes from 150 deals to 500, and all of a sudden people are like, what happened to Phil? Like, he just blew up. Phil's phone is going to be ringing off the hook with like, teach me, show me, how did you do that? My business went from 72 million at Keller to almost 200 million this year in 28 months. It's because of what I'm learning from the collective group, right? Mm-hmm. So I think there's so much value.
Let's do another one, Tina, before I know we're running out of time.
Yeah,
let's do another really quick, which is going to be the basic agent they're going to talk to. You guys, one thing you saw, when I'm talking to a baller, I'm looking for all the no's. Tell me no 17 times. I'm okay with that, because I already know that's what you're thinking. So I'm going to say, yes, I would agree. No, that's not going to happen. And the no is your strength. No is the power. On the flip side here, give me a basic, just a run-of-the-mill agent doing 6-8 deals a year, which is pretty standard.
And do you want me to say no? I mean, do most of them say no to you?
I love where I'm at. Oh my God, they give me so much support. All right.
So amazing.
That's what everybody says. Okay, ring.
Hello.
Tina, hi, Curt Shewell, giving you a quick call. I run the Mark Z team. I'm over here at EXP, and we're putting a coaching platform out and helping agents sell more homes. I just want to give you a quick call. Looks like you're kind of newer to the business, or you're doing about, what are you doing? I don't know, 6, 8, 10 homes, something like that, about one a month?
Yeah, I sold 7 homes so far, and I've got 2 under contract. So,
oh my God, that is amazing. I applaud you.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the game?
Oh, I just, it's my first year since January. So I think I'm going to end the year with, 10 to 11 deals is my goal.
Holy smokes. I bet you a rock star like that, I bet they're loving on you, and you're probably getting all the support on the planet you can get out of your brokerage, yes?
Oh, they definitely, I think I'm hoping I get Rookie of the Year this year. So.
Oh, hey, tell you what, if I could get you some free coaching, cost you nothing. There's no, by the way, we bring you in and then we start charging later. I've got these daily coaching calls that we do them every week to help agents like you go to that next level. If I could double your business for you for free, and you just get to chime in, we do it for 30 minutes each morning before you start your day, 7:30 to 8 o'clock. If I get you on those calls and help you sell more homes, is that something you'd be interested in?
I don't know. I mean, we're with Warren Buffett owns our company, and we have this like little mastermind group, and so I'm very happy. But thank you. I mean, I'm just really happy right now. I don't want to mess things up. I'm going to do my 12 deals, and hopefully next year I'll do 24. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem at all. All we do is try to help agents sell more homes, right? We're all on the same board, so we're all in the same business together. So if I could put you in a room with people who sell at homes twice of what you sell, you think you could learn a little bit?
Oh, I'm sure I could definitely learn a little bit. Is there like a fee for it? I mean, you guys charge agents to do that?
Yeah, it's the most expensive thing I could possibly charge you is your time. So what we do is we do a 30-minute, and we only teach right now, we're teaching all on how to get more listings. So if I could put you into that group, if I could teach you a ticket to that for free, you want to call in, it's just, you literally call in, you don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to get out of bed, you don't have to do anything, you just call in, and we help you out that way. Is that something that would be interesting to you?
Yeah, I've done all buyers this year, so I really would love to break into listings, but I don't think I'm ready yet, because I mean, I got to learn the game first. But yeah, I mean, if it's a free call and I can just jump in and listen, I might be open to that.
Yeah, sure. And if I could sit down with you and actually help you with a business plan, what's your business plan look like? How did they do that at where you're at?
Well, I mean, they basically, we sat down at the beginning of the year and the goal was 4. So I'm like doing way more than that. And so, but I had my database, and I'm doing some social media, I'm doing some open houses, and, just really making sure my friends and family know that I'm in the business.
Nice. So let me ask you this. Are you a techie kind of person?
Not really.
Okay. So if you could learn how to use some of these tech tools that are out there where everybody's going to, because you know where everybody goes, what's the number? You know who the number 1 name in real estate is?
Number 1 what?
Number 1 name in real estate?
No.
Yeah, everybody thinks, Remax, Keller, EXP, all these other top 3 companies in the world. No, it's Zillow, because Zillow owns the mindset of all
Oh,
their
yeah.
clients, right?
Yeah, their
We're
leads
talking
are
about-
really expensive. I can't afford their leads.
No, of course not. And most people can't. Only the big teams do. And that's why they tout this. The problem is all your clients, they're all going to Zillow. They're going online. They go to Zillow to see how much their house is worth. They go to Zillow to find out where all the houses are. Do you find that to be the same?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of my clients, or the buyers that I work with, a lot of them talk about Zillow, and I think they buy homes or whatever. But yeah, I do. I mean, I before I was an agent, I was on Zillow every night, looking at homes and hearting them, and so just trying to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. You want me to show you some of the things? I got another little class I'm doing strictly on helping agents understand what cloud-based companies are doing, like Zillow and all these third-party companies, and how they are structured versus the franchise model, so that we learn how to maximize what you're doing. If I could show you something like that, you want to spend about 30 minutes, I can kind of go over that with you.
Yeah, I mean, if it definitely helps my business, I'd be happy to learn about that. When is that?
Okay. Well, actually, I've got one tomorrow. Are you available tomorrow about 1 o'clock?
Yeah, I think I could do that.
Perfect. Let's get that one set up. I'll do it and I'll go right through it with you. And I'll show you how they're doing it on cloud-based companies. I'll show you how the franchise models are doing it. And then what I can show you is how you can compete in that kind of world. Sound good?
Perfect. So Curt, is this, so explain to them what this is, because this is sort of like your EXP Explained that you kind of do and you go through, right?
Yeah, I do an EXP Explain without talking about EXP to the very end. So what I do is I get them to understand, who do they work for, right? Who do you work for? And that's important that they understand who they work for, because most of them don't understand. And Phil, I'll pick on you for a quick second. First time we sat down and I started talking about understanding franchise models versus cloud-based models, even though you were knee deep, I mean, married and buried into a franchise model, you were very, very hesitant and very standoffish to really even look at what cloud-based is, because it was totally opposite of what you're doing. Is that true?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. And that's the hard part, right? So getting a guy like him to see, let me just show you who you work for, because you know how it works, right? Now that's stroking his ego, but at the same time, it's making the question, what does he really know about his own place?
All right. To be honest, what sold me, and the reason I signed up the other day, was something I learned when I was a high school teacher. For all you guys that didn't know, I was a high school teacher for 10 years, right? And one of the very first things I learned, and most important things I ever learned in this business, and I kind of translated into the real estate and the productivity coach, was people don't care what you know unless they know that you care. Like, that should be your aha. That's when you're out recruiting, that's what you need to do. When I was in a really tough jam about 3.5 weeks ago, Nick on my team grew up with Tina. And I had been talking to Curt and Mark forever, and I was leaning towards Curt and Mark to sign up. And I called Curt and I was like, I'm just going to be honest, man. I'm in a tough position right now. He's like, I got you. How can I help you? Right. So right away, it wasn't about what he knew and all stuff like that. He showed that he cared to help, and he had no vested interest in helping me at all. And then I said, hey, like, honestly, Nick grew up with Tina, and my team I got to hold this together. He goes, oh, no problem. Tina's in my line. No big deal. Yeah, sign up. Let's go. It wasn't like he tried to say, you got to come on me, you got to do this, you got to do that. Like, he just authentically showed that he cared. And I mean, he was at his daughter's softball tournament, and he's still picking up his phone, right? And most of the brokerages you call now is like, oh, I'm out grocery shopping, I can't talk to you now. They won't even talk to you, something that simple. So Curt showed that he cared well before he had to show me what he knew. I already knew who he was, and I did my research and background. I knew that he had the knowledge that I was seeking, but I got the best of all the worlds together. And that's, you guys have been talking, I don't know the exact term yet. I'm just, your lineage, your family tree, if you will. Knowing that you have these 7 levels was the most important thing to me, because I know you guys have the knowledge, but the first thing you did was you showed that you cared, and that's what sold me. So that's
I think that's awesome. That's awesome. I don't know.
I love that.
That's the point, right? And
Yeah.
that's the truth, guys. I've been talking to Phil for freaking 1.5 years, almost 2 years, trying to get him to see that this is a better platform for him. And he finally did. But the truth is, it was better when he came on that he's got Tina part of this as well, not just with me. So from a selfish aspect, do I want him on my first level? Well, of course you do. But the truth is, it made way more sense for us to do it this way with Nick's relation with Tina, and then what Phil's trying to do. I'm still 100% all in. He's only 2 levels deep, right? Tina's on my 2nd level. He's on my 3rd. So he's 2 levels below it.
And think of this, Curt. Think of this, we added 800 agents, let's say, to your organization, which makes him smile a lot, right? But that wasn't just me. That was Marty Hampton and April Stevens and
Right.
Renee and Pam and all, right? Everyone counts. And now if Phil decides that he's going to go be Phil, and from what I know about him, because again, our relationship is new and we're going to get to know each other real well, he has that heart, and people feel that he's authentic and he has that heart. And Phil goes and blows up and grows another organization of 1,000 people in the next 3-4 years. It doesn't matter where Curt places him, right? It's not about that. You want to. I have actually brought over 140 people, but 90 count. The rest were tucked under other people, Mackenzie and Pam and whoever else, because it's connections that make it happen. So it's all about growing the group, making it the best mastermind that you can think of. That's what we're doing here today.
Yes.
And Curt, can I invite some of the Freedom Builders and the group to one of your calls? Because I think they'd probably like to see what you're saying. Would everybody like that? Yes, everybody wants to see. Now they're curious about this cloud-based Zillow, and I've heard it before, but I want you to kind of present that. So when is your next presentation, sir?
I think 2:00.
Oh, 2:00. Okay. So is it every day at a certain time, or what is it at?
Let me pull up my calendar to tell you really quick.
Yeah. So today at 2 for those. So those of you who want to jump on, if you have time, what's the next date? And then I'll have your assistant send us the Zoom link for it. Because the better we can make you guys, whether it's through video attraction, whether it's through maybe, Curt style. Curt is great on the phones, and he'll just call people and, talk them through a coaching call. But I felt very comfortable with him, even though I'm like, who is this guy? I don't even know him. But he was talking my language, right? He was talking about masterminding and growing and hitting the pain points. And you got to know your audience, whether it's a new agent or a seasoned agent. Everybody has the same pain points in the industry, and everybody wants a community like this where they do feel empowered and actually cared about versus, and again, nothing to not, I think one of the best companies out there is probably Keller Williams for what they've put together. It's just a 40-year-old model, and the difference is the incentive to keep the agents glued together financially is not there anymore. The profit share is not there. So the caring about the community is not as big as this one. That's the only difference, right? I mean, we just have a little more incentive. We have a little more ownership. So owners do what? They care more. Renters don't give a crap about your floors and your carpet and whether or not they put a ding in the wall. When you own a property, you care a little bit more. So we are owners of our company. When somebody joins DXP in California, not under me, I'm like, we got another agent at my company. That's how I feel, because I have 20,000 shares of stock. I hope that stock's worth $5 million, $6 million one day. I believe that it will be, because until we stop growing, we're growing at 4,000 agents a month. Until we stop growing, that's when I'm going to be nervous about the stock that I own. I might sell it, right? But we are in a growth model right now for the next 10 years. We will have 1 million agents. I believe that, because we're cloud-based. And we have copycats. So that's an amazing thing. We have Fathom, that was just like EXP. Now we have Real, which is not even the real thing. It's like the fake EXP. Come on, guys. So that's good, because when you're swimming in a blue ocean and you're completely off the competition, you're going to get competitors. That's a good thing. That means what we're doing is correct and we're on the right path. So Curt, today at 2, and then what's your other time?
I sent that to you. So.
Oh, good. All right. And I'll put it in our Freedom Builders group so you guys can access that.
Anybody who wants to jump on, feel free.
I mean, do we have a couple more minutes with you if somebody has a question? Does anyone have a question?
Jimmy just came in. Yeah, Jimmy just came in here to let me know that he talked to my 12 o'clock. So I'm good. Thank you, Jimmy. So
good. Thank you, Jimmy.
You're welcome. So that's in here.
Anybody have a quick question here or in our
chat? One of them asked me in the chat here, asked if we invite them to masterminds and they say yes, I want to go to the masterminds. Where the heck are these? And how do we go from there? Because I kept talking about that, and I used that reference a few different times. It's the easiest conversation to have with somebody. Either one, I open up and I talk to them about competing with Zillow and cloud-based and not cloud-based, but you better know what you're talking about. Now, here's the cool part.
Yeah, don't do that.
All you have to know is that you have where an explanation of that is, and you put them in my schedule with me, right? Because I'm going to go over it. You're going to see me do it today for those that pop in at 2. The rest of you, you can see it at other times next week. I do one of them almost every day. So any of you can join that. The masterminds, though, here's what there is. At 1 o'clock every Monday, there is a mastermind that goes on strictly about selling more homes. It's not about recruiting. There's never, ever, ever, ever a conversation, a mention of anything about recruiting or attracting or building your teams. What it is what do we do? There's a whole bunch of teams on there talking about helping each other on, I have a team, and if I have this question, how do I do this? What do I do this with my team? Where do you guys get this stuff and that stuff from? How do I sell another house? How do I overcome these objections? It's all in there. That's it, Monday at 1 o'clock every single week. And Dan Beer and Kyle Whistle run it. They are directed, so they would be like my daddy. So they're my dad, right?
His daddy. And all of you in Freedom Builders should know this. This is zoom.fastforwardmovement.com. You guys get it in your Sunday email. This is like your mom telling you something and you not listening, and Kurt's gonna tell you, and you're gonna be like, we don't have that. Yes, we do. Every Monday at 1, they have. Jenna has drilled it into the email, but every Monday at 1, that's for your baller, your big players. New agents fine too. They should learn, but that is for like every level of agent. Is Monday at 1.
I have a question.
Okay, question for
Jenna,
Jenna.
what do you got?
Yeah. Let them know that I ask hard questions.
She asks hard questions, she said. Okay,
Oh,
here,
no.
you ask.
Don't ask
You
hard
ask him.
questions.
I want to say hi. Where is he? Hi. Yeah.
Okay, ask the question.
All right. So
What do you got?
when you have an agent and they are on the phone with you, how do you, if they want to join the Mark Z team, right? How do you handle that if you don't necessarily think they're like a culture fit? Or do you even have conversations with people you wouldn't want on that team?
The biggest argument we have in our office.
Yeah.
Every single day, right?
Okay.
I get Curt. They have to go. All right. So everybody to come on our team, most of them go through me. The other ones that don't have to go through Jimmy. And then what really needs to happen, and we don't do it as well as we should, it should go through me to say, okay, you're a fit, because the first thing I'm doing is making sure they're a fit for EXP to begin with, right? And then the team is in addition to it. Now, however, to your point, a lot of agents, Jenna, come to me because they want to be on the Mark Z team. It's a huge draw. Mark is marketing social media all the time. Mark Z, Mark Z, Mark Z, Mark Z, Mark Z. So a ton of people attract to us because they're interested in the Mark Z brand, the Mark Z team. So I have those conversations, but the first thing I do is I back them up. Right? I go, let me explain to you, we're a cloud-based brokerage. And they're like, well, what does that even mean? Because they have no clue. They really don't. Say, okay, I'm going to show you a couple quick things. And I don't go through a full EXP presentation. What I go through is, what do you need the most? And I take them to the 5 pillars, which I literally got from, it was a trigger from Tina. Tina used to do a presentation of her pillars, and I turned mine into the 5 pillars based on what I R&D ripped off and duplicated from Tina. So, and I know she did it with Marty Hampton.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, so they got Marty Hampton stuff, they got Tina stuff. And this is into this. So what I do is I take them immediately to that. I don't talk about Zillow. I don't talk about all this other crap. What I do is I talk to them about what's important to them, and I ask them, and you're going to see it. Shit, my board's out there. So I can show it to you. Anyway, it's the 5 little, I got a boot camp going on. So there's a centerpiece, which is them. And then here's the 5 pieces of real estate: support, leads, training / masterminding, ownership, and sharing in the revenue. And I have this, and I'll share it with all of you. You're going to see it at 2 o'clock. But what I do is I go to that when they're talking about team, and I go there first. Because I ask them, what's the most important thing to you? And I let them see it. I say, here's the 5 pillars of your real estate career. This is your own business. You're in business for yourself, and right now you're by yourself. I'm going to show you how you can be in business for yourself, not by yourself. What's the most important piece of this to you? And they all look at it, and 90% of them say the same thing. Guess which one they pick? There's support, there's leads, there's mastermind training, there's ownership, and then there's sharing in the revenue. What's the one they most all of them pick?
Leads.
No.
Support.
Support. They all go, oh, I need support. It's the first one on there, and it's the only thing every other brokerage pitches to them. Oh my God, are we going to give you so much support? Our culture is the greatest. You're going to love it here. We're just going to make you feel like family. And they sell them on this crap. Now, when I say crap, I mean it respectfully, because culture is huge. It's huge. There is no culture like they're going to get here. This is everything that everybody ever had that was good. They put it in one pot, and it's like super good, right? It's insane, because anything they want is here, and they get to pick it. It's a buffet table. It's not one meal today. We're having meatloaf. Well, I don't like meatloaf. Tough. Sit down, shut up, and eat your meatloaf. Well, I don't want you to do that. Eat your meatloaf, right? That's what's for today. Well, it's a buffet every day. So this is why the culture is so amazing, because they can get whatever they want. It's all about them. Now, when I say that, they all say support. And then I ask them, what's more important than leads? And then they go, well, yeah, I get, okay, yeah, I need leads. Yeah, I need the leads. The leads is what I need. You say, okay, think of it this way. For you to breathe, you need leads in your real estate world. That's your air you breathe. If you have no leads, you have no business. You're not selling anything to anybody. Remember, stop selling. And then look at me like I have three eyes. Say, everyone wants to buy, no one wants to be sold. Stop selling. Start helping them. When you absolutely help them, and it goes back to what Phil was talking about, and we pitch it here all the time. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And that's how that works. So I'm going to show them. You want support? No, you don't. You do. Don't get me wrong. You want leads. The problem is you don't know how to get them. So what you really want is the first step goes all the way to training. You need to learn how to generate leads. You need to learn how to talk to your sphere. You need to learn how to go out there and bring in business. You have to learn how to market. You have to learn how to advertise. So step one is you need training. That's the food and the water. The leads are the air. You got to have air to breathe. So I'm going to teach you day one how to do this. So the first thing you need is you need to be trained on how to grow your business, how to start your business, how to bring food to your table. That's what you need. So step one is training. Step two is, now that I've trained you how to get the lead, is converting that lead. So step two is leads. That's the second most important piece. So the first one is how to get the damn lead and get them to say they'll work with you. Two is get the lead and get them to say yes, they'll work with you. Then what happens? Then they all look at me and go, oh shit, just like the question in the chat. They said yes, what do I do now? Exactly. Guess what? Go back to training. Step three is back to training. So now, step one is training. Step two is leads, converting the lead, get them to say yes. Step three is go back to training to learn what to do and how to take them from yes to actually put them into play, get them to list with you or get them to buy with you and get them out there in the field putting in offers. Step four is when support comes in. And it's not until you've done all the work and you've learned how to do this, then you need support. Okay, how do I get this to the finish line? How do I go through the process? Teach me that process, teach me the paperwork, teach me that crap. Because that's the easiest part of the entire business. It's the easiest part there is. You've already done the work. You did the hard part. You got the lead. You did the hard part by converting the lead. You did the hard part by getting them to actually go out and work with you. And now they're buying a house or listing a house and selling a house. Now I need support. It's the fourth piece of the puzzle. But yet everybody thinks it's the most important one. You know why? Because no other brokerage gives you leads. No other brokerage gives you world-class training that actually teaches you how to actively do this, not read you some gosh damn book. Okay, so the first part is scripts and roles and overcoming objections to get them to say yes to you. The second piece of training is what to do once they say yes. This is where everybody falls down. This is where the companies fall short. This is why they talk about support. That's all they have to offer you. So when you're comparing Remax and Coldwell and Century and these other companies, Berkshire, I don't give a Sotheby's, none of them are going to give you any of that. So when you ask them, what do you get? How many leads do you get? Well, I don't get any. How much training, formalized training? Do they pay for you to be training? Do you mastermind with the best of the best? Well, no. Right, you don't get leads, you don't get this. Are they ever gonna let you own the company? No. Well, hold on, Phil, you were a baller. You had a team inside of a brokerage. You were killing it. You're doing $50 million and $40 million in business. When did they decide, what's the number to make you a partner? How much did you have to do? Yeah, doesn't matter. He could do $100 billion. He's never gonna be a partner unless he buys it himself. So he's not a partner. He never gets ownership, ever. And then Phil, same question for Tina, when you were killing it, right? And you were the best balling team out there, you had a massive month. How much did they share back with you, cut you a check for 5, 10, 15, 20 grand and say, hey, we had a killer month. Let me just stroke you some cash. Never.
Nope.
Right?
I got a certificate.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
made
five pillars, guys.
$3,100 in profit share last year, so that was good.
How much? How much?
3,100. So.
You know what? It's better than I earned at Remax, which was
Yeah.
zero.
I got a
Right?
certificate. I got a certificate to go with it too, so that was good.
And a certificate. Yeah, that's good.
And a cert. So when you look at this stuff, when you understand this, when I put this in front of them, which you're going to see today for those of you there, I'll do this with you and I'll show you. This is where you have to have the conversation. This is how you recruit agents, guys. This is where you talk to them about what matters to them. None of them give a crap about ownership. None of them give a crap about sharing in the revenue because they don't even understand what that even means. They don't even compute that. Right? They want to sell another house. They don't get any leads, and they certainly don't get taught on how to do it. Okay? So, what do they have? They have support. Garbage. Oh my God, I'll love, 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 love. You think my heart beating for you. Oh my God, if you call me, I'll call you back. I promise. I sure will. Well, I would hope so. You're giving them $18,000 a year. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Really simple. Shit, give me $500 a month and I'll call you every morning, Monday through Friday. Good morning. Hey, Jenna. Yeah, it's Curt. How you doing? Oh my God, you're gonna be so good today. Yes, you are. You're gonna kill it. You're gonna be the best agent ever. Oh my God, you're gonna be so good. Yes, 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 yes. I love, love, love you. Okay, go get him, killer. You're gonna be great. I'll call you tomorrow. Click. Are you kidding me? That's the support you want? Give me a break. How about you just stay poor and broke? Won't that be wonderful? Yeah, we'll stay broke together. That'll be so fun. We can cry together and say it's miserable. Stop it. Stop it. Does that answer your question? The tough one, Jenna?
Yeah. Well, and to think, and as we wrap up, I put all the 5 pillars that we talk about. Support is the number one. So when they think about support, it's freedom builders, fast forward family, right? All of the masterminding, the leads, the tech to help them grow. The training is free coaching. Don't say training. Everybody says training. Don't say training. Take it out of your mouth. It's free coaching from the best of the best. Imagine you had an advisory board of 7 kick butt people that are helping you grow, right? So it's a coach for free. I paid $2,000 a month for coaching before I got here. That saves me $24,000 a year because now Curt's a coach and Mark's a coach, and right, we all have each other. So they save on coaching. The rev share is later. That's the icing on the cake. That is retirement leverage. So that is something later. As they're selling homes, they're building relationships, and they get to pick the players they want to work with. So it's not recruiting, it's pick your business partner, pick your players. And then stock ownership is the rewards versus trophies, right? I get ownership versus paper awards. So again, change your thinking because everyone's saying the same thing. Oh, we have leads, we have training, we have a culture. Really, what's your culture? So everyone says the same thing. You have to show them what our culture is. And that's getting them to remember that they're coming in with 7 agents as their advisors, an advisory board, just like ALC. And that advisory board is there to plug into them. And also remember this, they're not joining a company. They're adding a platform, right? This is not joining Caul Banker, joining Remax. That is the old 140 years of brokerage is you join a traditional brokerage and they slap their name on your sign and they ask for money. You're going to rent your business. EXP is you being a private business owner and taking the EXP platform and plugging it in so you have those 5 pillars. So think of it as adding a platform to their business, not joining a company. We don't need them to join a company. We need them to empower their business.
You got it. That's straight up, guys. That's where it's at. So have the conversation they want to have on your terms. If there's an elephant in the room, be the elephant, meaning everything they're going to push back on you on, bring it up before they do. You bring it up on your terms. It's easy to have the conversation because you diffuse the bomb before it could ever go off on you. Okay? Because when I tell them, wouldn't it be great if somebody actually was helping you grow your business and actually gave you leads? Well, yeah. Wouldn't it be better if the support you got was somebody actually teaching you how to convert these and put more money in your pocket? Or would you rather have somebody who says, I'll support you if you call me, I'll call you back, I promise, but I won't do anything to help you grow your business? Or would you rather have me helping you actually grow your business?
And brokers usually are out of production. The reality is they're not in production, right? So think about, and you better know your upline. You better know your 7 business partners because I know that they collectively sell, $3 billion of real estate. My 7 business partners. Think about that. Like, does your broker sell billions of dollars of real estate? Because I highly doubt it. I highly doubt they sell 1 home. You're growing their empire. You're their business model. You are part of their business strategy, right? So they're not there to really empower you. But we don't want to cut anybody down. But all right, so go ahead.
Misty's got a question, Tina. It's in the chat.
Okay.
The upline. Go into your RevShare, into your EXP Enterprise. Go to your dashboard. And it shows you your 7.
Misty Lyons, it's on your Sunday Freedom Builders email.
Okay.
You get that email.
It's in there. Tina, do me a favor. Add me to that so when I'm talking to any of these people, I know exactly what.
Yes. No, I will add you to that. It's a great email every week that has a lot of information. Curt, I know we've gone over. You're amazing. Thank you. Everybody say thank you to Curt. And then I'm going to put in the Freedom Builders chat. I'll add you to our group too there. He's going to put the Zoom link. And so you guys can jump on at 2 today, but he does it every week. So you can just ping him, find him on Facebook. Every day. So if you want to see his beautiful face every day, you can.
It ain't that pretty, but this is all I got to work with. Okay, so I'll go with it.
Last thing, y'all,
nobody asked. Nobody asked, you know,
Oh.
thing they didn't ask, Tina, is what you just said. You don't have to know how to do this. You have to know how to invite people to it.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll do it. You don't have to until you learn it. Don't try because you're going to stumble all over yourself. Don't. Right?
Yeah.
Just learn how to invite people to it. We'll do it
Use
for
our
you.
use your family.
Thank you.
Use your
Thanks,
family.
guys.
Thank you,
Thank
Kurt.
you,
You're the
Tina.
best.
Tina.
Bye, everybody. Go
Thanks,
sell
Phil.
some homes.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
See you later.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, son. Go sell some houses.
Fair enough. All right. See you guys.
Bye.